As we're just going to get right into it today. Uh, we have the battle for SHEDEUR Sanders. It's going to be the Giants versus the Raiders. And today I'm going to tell you which team I think he'll fit best with and which team I think he'll go to. So right now, if we look at the draft order, you have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to be the first pick. I believe that they possibly will win the first pick. I think that they won't win any more games this year, but we all know they have Trevor Lawrence and they have Mac Jones, and I don't believe that they'll trade Trevor Lawrence or whatever. They'll stick with him, so SHEDEUR won't be going there. So really, what you have is you have the Giants and the Raiders. The Giants right now currently are in second in the draft order, so they could, trade up with Jacksonville just to make sure to get SHEDEUR, or they could, stay put and make sure to lose out and they'll finish above the Raiders. But then they have to worry about the Raiders trading up with Jacksonville and getting the number one pick. Or, these teams could win some games and mess it all up, but I just don't see any way that the Giants or the Raiders would win any more games this year. It just really wouldn't help them in their pursuit to get to SHEDEUR Sanders. I definitely believe he should be the number one pick. I believe by far and away he's the best quarterback in this draft class. He's way better than Cam Ward, way better than Quinn Ewers, way better than Sid from Ice Age, Carson Beck. He's way better than all those guys. All those guys to me showed they lost games with a lot of talent around them. While at Colorado, SHEDEUR Sanders didn't have good talent around him. At Jack State, didn't have good talent around him. And he made all those guys better. He had bad offensive lines, and he dealt with the blitz. He took hits. He got the ball out. A guy like Cam Ward, he didn't do that, and he struggled against mediocre teams. And he has a lot of turnovers on his tape. And to me, he doesn't handle blitzes well. And at Miami, they really had a couple more losses that the refs helped with, or they would have probably lost 4 games this year. To me, he doesn't make his teammates better like SHEDEUR does. And same with Quinn Ewers. He isn't in the same class. But let's get to the main storyline that we're here for today. Raiders or Giants? I'm going to start with my list of pros for the Raiders. First, I have that it has better weather. The Raiders have great weather. In Las Vegas, we know it gets really hot. It doesn't really get too cold. It doesn't snow. There's plenty of air conditioning, so if you get too hot, you can just go inside. But it's much better weather than New York. And we know that SHEDEUR can play in the cold because he's playing in Colorado right now. But growing up in Texas, I think he prefers warmer weather. So that's one pro for the Raiders. Next, the Raiders have a nicer stadium. Way nicer. They just built that beautiful stadium in Las Vegas, and it cost, a couple $1 billion. It's beautiful. While as the Giants, we know they play in East Rutherford in New Jersey. They share the stadium with the Jets, and the stadium's a piece of crap. It's garbage. Let's be honest. Next, we have that Las Vegas is a major market, major spotlight on you there. That should help, SHEDEUR want to go there. But New York has that too. Next would be Tom Brady and the ownership group. As a quarterback, it's nothing like having the GOAT as one of your owners, a guy to go talk to. We already know that him and SHEDEUR have trained together. They have a relationship. They know each other well. He likes Tom. Tom knows Dion. Tom knows the family. So that just seems like a perfect fit. I don't know how much Mark Davis's son is running things nowadays still. Hopefully Tom is getting a little more, to run things. My next pro for the Raiders would be better uniforms. I think that he's already in the Colorado black and gold. I think he would like to be in that black and silver, and I just think the Raiders uniforms look much better. I know might be a silly reason, but like his dad said, if you play good, if you look good, you play good. If you play good, you feel good. If you feel good, you eat good. et cetera, et cetera. All right. And then next, he has Brock Bowers for the Raiders. That's a pro. The best tight end we probably might ever see so far. The best rookie tight end. He was the best college tight end I've ever seen. What can you say about the guy? He's amazing. He's going to be a Pro Bowler, All Pro this year. He's a multi-time All-American, national champion. He's accomplished everything, and he'll be a great security blanket for SHEDEUR. Amazing that he'll have him. Next, we have Max Crosby, great defensive player, leader, just a guy you want to have around a young guy that can help him show the way and help, be the defensive leader. Next, the Raiders have a very loyal fan base. To me, they're one of the most loyal fan bases in all of sports. You want, Raiders fans. They're always going to show up at the games. They're always going to be there. It's not like the crowds in LA or Miami where you don't know if you're going to have fans this weekend, if you have fans at the game. We know that the Raiders fans travel and they love the Raiders. Next, he has another pro for the Raiders is he has an opportunity to be the first successful Raiders quarterback ever, really, especially for Las Vegas. They haven't really had any success, before they had Derek Carr, they had Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew. None of those guys did anything. He could easily pass all them and, get a bunch of the Raiders records, all time. And in Las Vegas, he could really be the first quarterback to have any success because since them moving there, they haven't had any success. So the bar's low. He could become instantly franchise record holder, instantly the face of Las Vegas, instantly the first guy when you think of Las Vegas Raiders. I think it's quite an opportunity. All right, now let's get to the cons for the Raiders. Bad offensive line, of course. Their offensive line isn't good. Right now, they just fired their coach. They don't have a coach. That's not good. Let's go next. History of owner, bad. Ever since Al Davis died, they haven't really been that good, and their decisions and draft picks haven't been the best. And they, fire coaches quick. They've gone through a lot of quarterbacks, or they haven't got rid of quarterbacks as quickly as they should. It's just not the best. Another con, is only one offensive weapon. You only have basically Brock Bowers, no other weapons. They would have to draft some weapons while also, fixing the line. My next con would be the bad defense. They have a very bad defense, one of the lower defenses in the NFL. Next, another big thing that you got to think about when being in Vegas, gambling is everywhere. Gambling runs the town. Gambling runs maybe the team. You never know what kind of influence the mob or the NFL or whatever is having over, the team in Las Vegas that with all this gambling going on, you never know. To me, it's just a dangerous place to be as an athlete. And the last con, I would say that the Raiders have shown over the years to be less patient with decisions and quarterbacks and coaches. So they could get fed up very quickly. All right, let's move on to the Giants. For the New York Giants, we're going to start with pros. The biggest pro for SHEDEUR to be in New York is it's the Big Apple, baby. It's the biggest spotlight you can have. It's where stars are born. It's where stars are made, the Big Apple. Next, we're going to go his receiving core. Malik Neighbors is already there. Jalen Hyatt. You got Darius Slayton. You got Wan'Dale Robinson. These are all good receivers that could be great with the great quarterback, Next, we're going to have good ownership history. The Giants have always stayed pretty relevant. They had, success with Eli all those years. They had those championships. They beat Tom Brady twice. They're pretty stable. They're much more stable than the Raiders when it comes to that. Next, we're going to go with they have a better defense to me than the Raiders. They got Brian Burns. They got Dexter Lawrence. They got Kaylen Thibodeau if he gets healthy. Dory Jackson. They got some pieces, They got some pieces that really could, help out a young quarterback because we know he's going to need running backs and a defense. And his running back there, Tracy, is not too bad. He seems like he could definitely, maybe become a Pro Bowler in the future. Also, I would say that the Giants have shown that they're very patient with their quarterbacks. That's another pro. So if SHEDEUR struggles early, they're going to fully support him. They're going to fully, be behind him. We saw how long they stayed with Daniel Jones. And we see Daniel Jones is horrible. They should have let him go a long time ago, but they're loyal to their quarterbacks. All right, now let's go with our cons. The biggest con in New York is the media. We all know the New York media is vicious, it's ruthless, it's mean to fans. I mean, not mean to fans, it's mean to players. The fans are kind of mean. They're just constantly on top of you, just like they're the most successful franchise and when they haven't won that much. Next, we're going to go another con, bad offensive line. We know the Giants' offensive line is pretty horrible. That would definitely need to be fixed for him. But he's used to playing with bad offensive line, so it'll be okay. Next, we have a bad coach. The current coach of the Giants isn't that good to me. I think they'll bring in a new coach, so they're kind of like the same as the Raiders. Basically, you don't have a coach. Next con would be the cold weather. The cold weather is harder to play in, harder to throw the ball. It hurts. It's less desirable when you're not playing football, when you're just off and want to have an off day to go do something, go to the park or go do whatever millionaire athletes do. Next, I'll say the biggest con, it's far from Coach Prime. It's far from his dad. So this could be trouble. And we've also heard reports early that his dad, Coach Prime, doesn't want him going to the Giants. So we'll see if these, are justified or what's up with that. But I know the Giants want him. But yeah, we've heard those rumors. All right, so I'm going to go with my final decision here. I'm going to say the Raiders, and I don't think it's close. I think the Raiders by far would be a better situation. I just feel like he would be a better fit in Las Vegas, and he would be a spark for the NFL. The NFL's trying to build that Las Vegas Raiders brand, and they're trying to jumpstart their new, biggest, nicest stadium, nicest new city location. And I just think with Brock Bowers and what they could do with some draft picks, they put together a winning team quicker. And I just think that he'll be also Coach Prime, that's what he wants. And I think that SHEDEUR Sanders will be the number one pick in the 2025 NFL draft, and he'll be a Las Vegas Raider. All right, guys, let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.